The Kosair Charities Fellowship in Pediatric Infectious Diseases at the University of Louisville was established in 1994, and Gary Marshall was the first fellowship director. Since that time, he's trained 7 fellows and 1 pediatric ID nurse practitioner. On the occasion of Gary giving the Plotkin Lecture, we all wanted to come together to honor him. I'm Chris Bryant.
I'm Victoria Statler.
I'm Liz Stagno.
And I'm Penny Heaton.
We are also representing the other fellows, Andrew Campbell, Robin Schmucker, and Robin Livingston, as well as Christy Shelton, because they couldn't be here today. So we were asked to describe how Gary conveys to us his enthusiasm for pediatric ID. Penny?
Well, I would say he conveyed his enthusiasm for pediatric ID by starting the fellowship.
For you.
For me, yes. So I was at the end of my residency. I really wanted to do a pediatric infectious disease fellowship, but Louisville did not have a program at that time. And I could not leave Louisville because of family reasons. My mother was ill. So I was distraught, didn't know what I was going to do. And one day Gary called me in his office and he said, guess what? We have the funding for the fellowship, and he invited me to be the first Kosair Charities Fellow in Pediatric Infectious Diseases. So I was just ecstatic.
Victoria?
So I have the privilege of working with Dr. Marshall, the boss, to this day. And he comes into work every day telling us and reminding us that we have the best job in the world. Liz?
Well, he has cultivated a culture of inquisition and curiosity with pediatric infectious disease, and his love for pediatric infectious diseases shows through everything that he does.
We were also asked to describe how Gary has helped us through a difficult situation.
So I can't think of a very specific situation right now, but I can tell you that I've come to him with many different situations, and he always reminds me that I need to stop worrying and just be logical. That's Gary.
Penny, you had a thought.
I did, yes. I remember when we had to tell the parents of a 6-week-old child that had several infections that she had HIV. This was a couple that were college sweethearts. They had only been married 2 years. They were starting their family, and they had no idea that they were infected. I remember Gary sitting down and with me, and we told the parents, and we sat there with them for almost an hour while they basically just sobbed and cried. And it was an incredible experience. And Gary, at that point, he wasn't just their doctor, but he was their confidant, he was their friend, and he helped them for years to come. So they did lose their daughter, but he got them connected to an infectious disease doc there in town. They got treated. They've since had children who are uninfected and healthy. They've become big advocates telling their story everywhere. And that's something, seeing that example is something that's just been a part of me my whole life.
You know, Gary has encouraged many of the fellows to call him Yoda. Many of us have over the years. And I'm reminded of a Yoda quote from episode 3. And Yoda said, in a dark place we find ourselves, and a little knowledge will light our way. And that's really what I think about with your story. We sometimes meet families on the very worst day of their lives, when all the medical care in the world isn't going to change the outcome despite our best efforts. But Gary always says, information, knowledge will help the family cope. And so, Gary, we just want to say collectively, we love you. We are here to honor you, and we thank you for training us. I guess we would all say, well trained.